Hey everybody, what's going on? Phil here, and today I am going to talk about a game I played in the last weekend, Armory, Vanilla Ariadna myself versus my friend who was playing Tunguska. So, with N5 approaching, I want to play a new army, and Vanilla Ariadna kind of is drawing my attention. There haven't really been many spoilers for them, um, but the Kyber Volk looks, I've said it in Discord, aggressively okay, but the model is really cool. And recently we saw that bears might be getting a nerf with the changes to immunity. Like they might only have immunity arm, which would be a pretty big nerf because they could get flash pulse, DM'd, glued, all those things. Nevertheless, we'll see. I'm leaning towards playing Ariadna, but undecided as of yet. Hard to say no to Achilles and Vanilla combined. But anyway, this is the list that I brought. Unfortunately, it isn't, N5 legal, but with all of the spoilers and the huge changes to existing models that we've been seeing with N5, I think trying to prepare for N5 is really a fool's errand. But here I am doing it. So um, we have Jacques Bruant, strong camo gunfighter who can really punish someone who tries to discover while you're moving up. Putting 4 AP Spitfire shots into them would be nasty. He will not be an N5. 2 volunteers, simply filler, 6 orders. I'm used to taking, Imatrons, so one with a chain rifle and a light shotgun is pretty fantastic. We have a Spetsnaz gunfighter. So he is a pretty good gunfighter, and depending on how the changes are going to be in N5, he'll be even stronger being able to surprise attack links because they won't be getting the same sixth sense that they get in N4. They will be vulnerable to surprise attack. We have the chain rifle bear, um, and I think in N5 this will be the better bear as you now have the chain rifle fork to fork with your CC or a grenade, whereas now the heavy shotgun really can't be beat. War Core filler, equip Mirage 5. The thing that the models that drew my attention the most when I started playing Infinity were the antipodes, or the half antipodes, and that is essentially why I'm bringing Margot into Rock. I think you can get a lot of work done with them. Might take a little practice. You'll see in this game they didn't do much, but that's a profile I'm excited to play. Then we have Vasily as our lieutenant, also someone who will be in N5, but I'm thinking he might get some changes. The lieutenant order being used to just take a couple pot shots at stuff with that tier 2 sniper rifle can be pretty nasty, and he was very good for me in this game. Chasseur mine layer, flamethrower mine layer is strong defensively and offensively. Um, Pretty self-explanatory, I think. Just a good defensive and offensive piece. SAS can blow stuff up with D charges, has templates, can start aggressively up the board. Usha McNeil, if you're going first, I think you always take the role to infiltrate, and she can really take out a piece either with burst 5 assault pistols or decharging. Very strong. Ermendino, another specialist that can impetuously move up the board. Booty is fun. Smoke, extremely cheap. And a Desperado to, get up in close. Um, can chain rifle, again, has the burst 5 assault pistol, which is nice. Burst 2 in CC. I think that's an exciting piece. The only downside for me is the bike can be hard to deploy with that massive base. So moving to my opponent's list, playing Tunguska. We have a Zellenkrieger, kind of a staple these days in Tunguska. The smoke cheap model is really hard to say no to. I think, starting a Tunguska list, you might just automatically put Denma in and then see how many Zellenkriegers you're going to put in. Then we have this 3-man Hollow Man Harris. And one of the things my opponent wanted to try this game is rather than using a heckler with the fast panda, having these 2 hollow men with pitchers. We are playing on his board, which I'm excited to show you all, and he thinks that just the multi-rifle and the pitchers, they will be able to maneuver their way up and get work done. So 1 specialist and then the 2 with multi-rifle chain colts, they all have templates. It's very strong. And this is actually, apologize, it's not going to be a three-man, it's going to be a four-man, bringing up a repeater uh, that can also use sensor and another specialist, good for that Harris. Then we have two interventors, one in each group, one interventor hacker lieutenant and one decoy. I think the two interventors are strong. I think if you have a strong hacking network out there, there really isn't any hacker that is willing to walk in here and fight these two interventors. Security paramedic kind of just thrown in there. A TR bot, which is paired with an engine, well, not, paired, but it comes with this engineer and helper. And not only does the engineer and helper have the ability to bring back up this TR bot, it also can bring up the hollow men. So getting a lot of work done with this engineer. And then in group two, we have our missile bot in case we spotlight anyone with our strong hacking network. We have, kind of the go-to puppet trio with the puppet master. This one's a mine layer. I guess, if you have the points, why not take the mine layer? And then the two, what I would say are strongest bots being the AP marksman rifle and the boarding shotgun. So that is my opponent's list. As I said, we were playing Armory. We did a lieutenant role, and my opponent won and elected to go first. So that is kind of disadvantage in Armory, I would say, but he didn't want to try and withstand the Ariadna Alpha Strike. And with that said, I think it is a fine decision to go first. So I gave him this side of the table, and he would deploy first. So some of you, if you've been watching my battle ports, right, kind of recognize this table from before. It has been vastly improved since the last time I played on it. I think it is safe to say this is easily the coolest Infinity table I've played on, and the most unique aspect of it is that it has a downward slope going this way. So this side is much higher than this side. And, just straight off the bat, that's really cool. The first time I played on it, my opponent said that this is kind of going for a Brazilian favela kind of feel. And you can really start to get that feeling now that with the color, with the water barrels added to a number of buildings, the soccer field really looks like a soccer field now, which you can see over here on the right. And we discussed possibly adding a saturation zone, which he has added via these chain link fences, which is awesome. And then just the color really brings it to life. And we have one playable interior right here. We call it the ice cream shop. So pretty awesome. So my opponent's deployment. We have the paramedic here, an interventor hacker here, Zellenkrieger, missile bot, the three hollow men paired with the uh, forward observer bot. We have the clockmaker's helper and the clockmaker right here. We have the mine, the puppet master. This is a flash pulse bot, Denma, both of the puppets. I believe the one back here is the shotgun. And we have another interventor here. He is holding one in reserve. And we will go to my deployment. So my deployment, kind of fun with all the camo markers. So we have the bear here. We have the bear's helper right here. This is a decoy. This is the HMG Spetsnaz. We have a decoy here. We have Vasily here, Usha McNeil, Ermendino, the Desperado. There's another volunteer over here, volunteer here. We have an SAS here. And then as my reserve, I have my Chasseur. So his reserve drop is going to be a TR bot that goes right here. And then my reserve will be a Chasseur with his mine. The Chasseur will go here. The mine will go here. If I were him, I probably would have held the bots, the puppets as my reserve. But, being able to see how I've laid out my forces and then dropping the TR bot is fine. One thing I will say, his TR bot goes back here. I would have put it here in cover. Just a small comment. And with reserves down, you can see his TR bot now behind the Zellenkrieger. And my reserve Chasseur down. So with that, we go into the first turn. So the first thing that happens is Zellenkrieger Impetuous is up here, and then dodges to just hug this corner. Once that's done, the Hollow Man Harris is going to move up, and what my opponent decides to do, with all my camo markers, including Margot and Duroc off the board, there isn't that much he feels like he can hit. And this Hollow Man Harris is a real, sorry, I keep calling it Hollow Man Harris. This Hollow Man four-man team with the Forward Observer bot is really a whole bag of wounds. So he is going to take the room. So his Harris moves up, opens the door, moves in. He lays pitchers around, some here, some here. Um, the Chasseur this entire time is attempting to dodge once the Harris moves in and fails about 3 times. I was excited to possibly get the flamethrower on all 3 of them, but it's just not going to work out for my favor. Um, so once he's in there, once his pitchers are down, he grabs, I believe, 1 Panoply's. His puppet bots move up and kind of, take over this area over here. Flash Pulse bot moves up as well to this area over here. And then with like his last couple of orders, he spotlights my Ermendino and missiles it to death. So at the end of his turn, it's something like this. My Desperado is still back here. The Chasseur has failed to dodge a number of times. And that's about it. So I'm pretty happy having not taking any wounds or any like serious losses, only my Ermendino. But I do have to deal with this room. And this turn, I make a decision which ends up costing me a bit. It's that I don't focus all my energy on taking the room. I think I'll give him 1 turn with the room and deal with it later, which I don't think should be the way I should have played it. And I'm just too excited to use Duroc. So my turn starts. Desperado Impetuous is up here. Probably a bad decision with these pitchers here, and the Desperado gets Spotlit. Next, the Vasily moves this way after standing up, drawing an action from the Zellenkrieger, the TR bot, and just this Hollow Man. My opponent decides to discover with all 3. I think looking back, I would have just discovered with the Zellenkrieger and delayed. We did talk about this afterwards, and to be honest, if he decides to shoot back, both the Hollow Man with just a multi-rifle and the TR bot are going to be, -12. So shooting back might not be the best, but a discover, delay, and then dodge probably would have been the best call. Anyway, with the triple discover, I decide I'm going to put shots on the Hollow Man. I put 2 shots into the Hollow Man. I believe I get a crit and a hit, and the Hollow Man goes down. Next, we come over here. We come out a little bit, no longer have camo, just to peek this Zellenkrieger. We put 2 shots into it. He smokes. I crit him, and he makes his saves and goes prone, dropping out of my line of sight. Next, the Chasseur just idles. He elects to shoot at me so that if I come around the corner, I'll get shot. And I just place a mine here. Next order, the Chasseur moves out, drawing arrows from these 2 Hollow Men. The Hollow Men both decide to template me. I put a flamethrower on the Hollow Men. The mine detonates, and this ends with just 1 wound on one of the Hollow Men, and my Chasseur dying. Next, I decide to spend orders on the Spetsnaz. He comes around, over to here, puts this Hollow Man unconscious. With that done, I have a couple of orders, and here's where I decide to use Duroc. So Duroc drops right around here, drawing arrows from here, here, and here. Here being the shotgun puppet. Shotgun puppet dodges to here. Interventor attempts a spotlight and fails. Um, and the puppet master attempts a dodge and fails. Next order, I idle. I am able to see the standing puppet master. So puppet master attempts to dodge again. Interventor attempts to spotlight, and this bot no longer has an ARO. We put 2 chain rifles on the Zellenkrieger. I kind of have a little trouble deciding if I'm going to throw a grenade or put chain rifles. But with the Puppet Master dodging on something like a 7, I think chain rifles are the way to go. The Puppet Master fails his dodge, but tanks the saves of the chain rifle and goes prone. Next order, Duroc kind of does a suicide run. He jumps up to the Interventor. The Interventor makes a whip roll for a classified card. So I put 2 chain rifles on the prone Interventor, killing the Interventor, but he does get his classified. And Duroc goes down to like the missile, a Denma chain rifle, and a boarding shotgun from the bot. So with that done, that is the end of my turn. So he's got 1 Hollow Man left in the room, and now I learn he is in loss of lieutenant. I got lucky and did get the correct interventor. So in a turn of loss of lieutenant, what does he do? Denma moves up with impetuous. He spends orders and command tokens, getting this bot up over here and bringing back one of the Hollow Men. He missiles to death the Desperado and spends 2 command tokens to grab another weapon from this panoply and move across and get another weapon from this panoply. So he now has 3 panoplies grabbed and has dominated the room once and has gotten his classified. So unless I can get those panoplies back, he has 5 points, and 3 panoplies is a lot. So here is where I kind of realize, oh shoot, I probably should have tried to dominate the room that first turn. And you'll see what I do on my second turn is probably what I should have done on my first. And he really struggled with the decision to spend 2 command tokens to get these panoplies. But in the end, absolutely worth it. So on my turn, what I do is I move Usha into group 1. Because I think Usha is going to be the, answer to fixing this room for me. So I no longer have any impetuous troops. So Usha, moves to here, tosses a smoke here. We have 1 Hollow Man here, 1 Hollow Man here. The smoke is on the Hollow Man and covering the door. So next, Usha moves up and bases this Hollow Man, who from the panoplies has gotten total immunity. So I elect to CC him with my pistols. It takes about 2 orders, but I'm able to bring down the Hollow Man in this corner. Then I move to the edge of the smoke. Check zone of control. I will be within 4 inches of this Hollow Man. So next order, base the Hollow Man, decharge him. I believe I put him unconscious, and he had chain rifled me back and puts Usha unconscious. Next, this SAS moves. The helper bot can see that and elects to dodge. And second short skill, I just move into the corner remaining in camo. So now I know I'm dominating the room with my SAS. Vasily will go into camo and move across on his rooftop again, drawing an arrow from the TR bot. TR bot delays, Vasily shoots and kills the TR. So here is the end of that turn. Vasily is over here having put the TR bot unconscious, and Usha is in here unconscious. Here is my SAS. So his turn 3, he brings up the Hollow Man. Oh, and I also spend an order to put this Spetsnaz in suppressive. So he spends an order to bring up the Hollow Man. He succeeds in bringing up the Hollow Man, but the Helper Bot does go down to a flurry of suppressive Spetsnaz shots. The Hollow Man moves up a little bit because he wants to get out of fire from these guys and discover and kill this SAS. But as fate would have it, the Spetsnaz is able to kill him as he attempts to get out of line of sight. So Hollow Man goes back down. Denma will move up to about here to kind of get a protective sight on the room. Here, my opponent makes a small mistake. He has his forward observer bot right here behind the wall, and he forgot it had sensor. So he could have, censored, revealed the SAS, and then killed it with the Hollow Man, even though the Hollow Man will probably die to the Spetsnaz. But you live and you learn. Instead, what he does is he moves across with the forward observer bot to try and discover this. But that's a mine that detonates. The FO bot fails its dodge and goes unconscious. Then his bots move up into a more aggressive position with kind of the shotgun bot watching the back of the AP marksman rifle bot, and the AP marksman rifle bot kind of has AROs in this vicinity. So here, maybe I could have gone a little balls to the walls with Jacques to grab Panoplies and go for the win. I would need the SAS to come over and succeed, and then I would need Jacques to succeed here and succeed here. And I think that is just too much of a risk. So what I do is bring up the bear. So the bear comes out, puts something, the bots shoot. I do something like put one wound on the AP marksman bot and then take a wound from the flurry of shots. Then I base the bot. Maybe, could have berserked it, but I base it. He shoots back, he shoots with the shotgun. I put 2 chain rifles down and then kill the AP marksman bot, and the bear goes dogged. It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to spend any more orders on it. Jacques moves up this way for short skill, and Denma delays, so he moves again. Then here he moves like this. Denma elects to discover, and so I just base the unconscious Hollow Man, revealing Jacques and getting my classified with a veteran or something being in silhouette contact with a null trooper, and because Jacques is a character, he is a veteran. So at the end of the game, I have now dominated the room for 2 turns. My opponent has dominated it for 1. However, he has more panoplies, so 1 dominating the room for 1 turn is 2 points, panoplies is 2 points, and he's gotten his classified for 5 points. And then I've dominated the room twice and got my classified for another 5 points on my side, leading to a tie. So looking back on how I could have won this game would have been spending more time in turn 1, really making sure I cleared out this room. And I think I could have done that by doing what I did on turn 2 and turn 1, switching Usha into group 1 and coming over and killing, coming to here, smoking on all 3 of the Hollow Men and just picking them off one by one. At that point, none of them had TI. And I still could have done that little cute chasseur play with the mine and flamethrower. I was hopeful that more would get done with that, but as it is, it didn't. Also, another mistake from me was the impetuous of the Desperado without dealing with these pitchers. At the very least, I just should have left the Desperado as is. Mm, moving it up here and it getting spotlight and eventually getting missiled just led to its death. So that was my first dive in with um, Vanilla Ariadna. I'm really hoping we get more spoilers for them. I think we can expect maybe some character changes, like we've been seeing with other character teasers. And we'll see what else, because I don't think they're going to get a hovercraft like we've seen with the other factions. So excited for N5. Keeping posted for spoilers. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.